Hello and welcome to The Court Jester, the podcast that brings you one saucy medieval tale after another. I am Nathaniel, medievalist and storyteller, and before I dive with you to today's story, I'm going to warn you. This story was written several hundred years ago, so the humor in it is dated at best. It's also misogynistic, ableist, gender binary, absurd, obscene, obscure, and in many ways inappropriate. So if you do not feel like hearing something like that today, that's perfectly sensible and I commend you. And I also think you should come back at a later date when you feel a bit friskier. Today's story is not particularly bad, but the fair warning goes out in general because, well, the world has thankfully changed in the last several centuries. And for the brave and the curious among you that are willing to consume this content in context, let's go hear the story of Walter and Marion. Walter, that's not his real name, but it's easier in English. His real name is something along the lines of Gautheron, but let's call him Walter. Walter had just married his beloved Marion, and they were in their bridal bedchamber, in their bridal bed, and this was their first night. Very exciting. They both laid under the draperies, and moments later, Walter was on top. Marion shifted beneath him, he pressed, she moved, he pushed, she wiggled, and they joined. Walter steadies himself and starts vigorously playing his part, so hard he almost buried his nuts, and then he kept going and going and going until, well, so hard he was going that from her ass came a large fart. "What was that noise?" said Walter. "You said you were a virgin. You can't have been a virgin if it's making that noise. You lied. Why does it make that noise?" "Well, I was a virgin until 2 seconds ago," said Marion, "and you're treating me so nastily that this is what happens. The sound you heard was my maidenhead running away from you." "Oh, God," said Walter. "How long have you been keeping it in? I'm so sorry I had to take it out so violently, but, I've never had this experience in other cunts. I mean, some of them will behave different than others, but generally it went away much smoother. But how long have you been keeping it in? It stinks." With that little trouble out of the way, Robin and Marion went about doing the usual business newlywed couples do. And this is a message for all of you, especially the ladies. Don't hold on to it too tightly. If it stays in for too long, it starts to rot, and then it smells. So just give it away, girls. This was the very short and juicy story of Walter and Marion. If you liked what you heard, subscribe to The Court Jester and have a look at the show notes. We have links to the podcast, social media, and other ways to get in touch. I also have links in the show notes to our Patreon page where you can choose to be our supporter and give me a sense of achievement because this is my labor of love and I don't otherwise get it. It will also give me the ability to bring you more stories from the Middle Ages. So thank you for listening. Until next time.